Hey guys, what's up? We're about to do our first ever season 15 tier list. We've never done a tier list before, but we're going to do it for the new map, Broken Moon.
Yeah, we're about to break into it, and we do have 50,000 hours, so even if we make some mistakes here, I do feel like we have a pretty good grasp on Apex Legends at this point.
And he said 15,000, so yeah, we've been playing this game for a bit.
We're going to jump into it. We're going to start with Ash is first on the list right now. Ash is pretty good, but not A tier. B, but you go ahead and give me your 2 cents.
Okay, I was going to put her between B and C just because this map is so open. I feel like her arc snare is pretty pointless, but I will say you can arc snare someone off the zip rails, so bonus points if you do that because that's pretty badass. That looks really cool to do. And her ultimate ability to quickly get your entire team somewhere fast and out of there into a new spot is really vital. So again, I'm going to put her low B, high C. I think that's a good spot for her.
Next character is Bangalore. I would say also Bangalore, definitely not C, definitely not S, definitely not A, but I'll let you place Bangalore. We'll go back and forth.
I'm going to put Bang at B also. Low B, high C. There's a lot of open areas on the map. Her smokes, I think, are still pretty good for so many open areas, and her bombs are pretty decent for endgame. But again, nowhere near A or S.
Yeah, both of those could also be C. As we put more characters on the list,
we might change. But again, they both could be C's.
Bloodhound is next up, and it is me to place to start. I'm going to place Bloodhound at A.
I agree.
I don't think that Bloodhound is an S tier. S tier would be like you got to play it or you're crazy. A, because Bloodhound is one of the only legends that can do scans through walls, which is very important, especially on a new map like the Moon map, where most people don't even know the buildings that well.
Some of the buildings are very confusing. Some of the round buildings, like it's with all the ramps inside, like Bloodhound, I actually think is better than Seer to just give the instant scan of where the teams are.
Yeah, Bloodhound's in a really strong spot right now. And next up is Caustic.
Oh, this map's so open. I think I'm going to put Caustic on C.
Caustic on C for the map. Caustic.
Now, the buildings are really good. On this map, there's some buildings that only have like an exit and an entrance. So
the buildings are really good in this map, but if there's an open zone, Caustic is pretty much pointless. So, depending on the end zone, Caustic could be A tier, and depending on the end zone, Caustic could be like D tier. Yeah. So, somewhere between A and D. We'll just toss Caustic at C, but I feel like it is variable depending on the end zone. The next character is Crypto. Crypto is a scan legend. D, maybe D. What do you think?
Crypto just is not fun to play. There's just better legends that can give you information as far as what's going on with the map. Now, Crypto with the instant banner grabs and the instant res is kind of cool.
Next legend is Fuse.
Not gonna lie, I think Fuse is kind of decent on this map with his knuckle clusters. I am putting Fuse. I kind of want to put him at A, but probably B. I do think he's really good on this map. And we're seeing him more on comp, too. Fuse is good if you have a good team, because he is kind of like a flex character. So let's go ahead and throw him on B for now, because I don't think he's not as valuable as Bloodhound.
Would we just go ahead and say that B is balanced? It's because Bangalore has always traditionally been the balance of legends. And any character below or above Bangalore is an imbalance.
Yeah. Now, I don't think A needs nerfs, though. Like, I'm not saying A needs a nerf.
No, I think it's healthy to have A legends. I think probably S tier is unhealthy.
Next one.
Gibraltar.
Gibby actually making a little bit of a comeback. Making a comeback for the brothers.
If you have a really tight team, Gibby can be really good, but oftentimes in ranked, I wouldn't recommend people running Gibby. Like, if we were recommending people in our community to run a legend.
Here's another way. I'd rather play with a Gibby on my team than a Bangalore on my team, though. I think the Bang smokes can be annoying, and I think Gibby's bombs are better. And the bubble's useful. So I feel kind of not right about putting Gibby below Bangalore.
Let's just put Gibby at B for now. If you have a good Gibby player,
they're the backbone of the team. Like, they hit their shots.
Most players aren't good Gibby players. Like, I would say most players, if they're going to flex other characters, I would be like, don't try to flex Gibby. Gibby's a character that's only going to be great if you have tons of hours on him, because he's not very lenient. If you place your bubble wrong, it's a huge problem, and your hitbox is massive. So if you're not using the arm shield correctly, you're just going to get beamed down.
What do you think? Because I feel like another legend that's very similar to him is Newcastle. Do you think Newcastle's better than Gibby?
Yes.
You're going to put Newcastle at A?
I think Newcastle is A-ish.
Okay. I can get with that. I think Newcastle's tactical, Newcastle's ultimate, especially since there's so many open areas on this map. I think Newcastle's is pretty cool.
The res with the shield is extremely strong. The best res we've ever seen in Apex, even better than the Lifeline shield res, potentially. And then the wall is fairly easy to use, his ultimate.
I think you should move Ashe down. Ashe shouldn't be lower than Caustic. Or higher than Caustic, I mean.
I'm agreeing with that.
I'm feeling better now. Okay, carry on.
I'm agreeing with that. Next one is Horizon. Your pick.
S. We have our first S. You're going to have to scroll up, yeah.
Oh, snap. The first S. We have to scroll up on that. Why is Horizon S tier?
She's the highest picked legend right now. S is for Space Mommy. You are correct. Yes, she's just so strong. Her ability to fight, to start and to end a fight, is better than any other legend.
I feel like the ultimate is super overpowered.
A good, strong, aggressive Horizon on a team is going to end fights. Yes, and you guys remember, she had a nerf not that long ago. You can shoot her ult. The team can shoot the ult. Grenades do damage to the ult itself, but I still am putting her on S tier.
Yeah, there's no question about Horizon on S tier, and I would say that means Horizon needs a little nerf, huh?
I don't think so. I like her.
I think Horizon needs a little nerf. It's a little unhealthy, and it's a little toxic, honestly, when you roll up on rolled up on by a Horizon team that's playing well, especially like in pred lobbies. The Horizon team rolls up and it just ends the fight. It's too strong.
Leave my soft landings alone.
Horizon needs a nerf. Next character is Lifeline. Lifeline, definitely not S tier, and I would not put Lifeline at A tier. Lifeline B tier. Is Lifeline as good as Bangalore, Fuse, Gibby? I don't think so. I'm more like C or D, but which one?
Would you rather have an Ashe on the team, a Caustic, or a Lifeline? I think she's D tier.
Lifeline, the res is almost useless. You have to be behind a rock or completely hidden in order for the Lifeline res to even make any sense. You just get thirsted. If you start, if I'm knocked and the Lifeline comes running over, I'm like, don't res me. They're just gonna thirst me. Like, it's the worst thing they could possibly happen because you can't hold your knockdown shield up while you're being res. So you just get thirsted. The ultimate ability, it was buffed a lot, but it certainly doesn't fix the fact that Lifeline's res is just trash. And also, if you're a good player, you oftentimes don't even dip below shields. You know, I'm hitting bats or cells. I'm generally not even having to hit HP heals. So the Lifeline bot to heal my health is also generally useless.
I'm with you on the D tier. I think she's below Ashe and Caustic for sure. All right, who's up next?
Loba's next.
Loba, I'm putting B for balanced. I think Loba's balanced. I enjoy playing Loba in ranked. I love having a Loba on the team. I don't think she's overpowered at all. I don't think she needs a nerf. I don't think she needs a buff. I think she's B tier.
B, yeah. We're seeing Loba run in pro games. So that's
a few. Yeah.
That's a good sign. The reason you would mainly run Loba, especially in competitive or ranked, is you might be contested on drop and then not have a great amount of loot or bullets. So that'd be good to have a Loba on the team. You may want to rotate really early to zone, and zone positioning is important for late game points. And you might have to skip looting. So then you're going to want a Loba to get late game loot. I think Loba's pretty. There's a lot of reasons why you might want a Loba on the team. We'll put Loba at B for now. Next legend. Maggie. Is Maggie S tier? Nope. Is Maggie A tier? No. Is Maggie? Yeah. I would rather have a Caustic than a Maggie for sure. I'd rather have an Ashe than a Maggie. The ball movement, honestly, has never helped me win a fight. Has it helped you win a fight? Running on the balls?
The zooms on the balls?
The
never.
zooms that make it like wow, wow, wow. And you can't hear anything when you're on them.
Zooms on the balls have never saved me, and a team zooming on the balls has never killed me. So
Okay, so the ultimate has never killed me, really. How about the tactical, the drill?
The drill is annoying. The drill is the reason why I'm not putting her at F.
The ult's pretty useless. The drill is... But also the drill, for me, I think the drill should do way more damage.
Oh, no.
I think the drill should do way more damage. Because I see the drill coming, it hits the rock, and it does like the burst of fire on me for 0.1 seconds, and then I back up, and it doesn't do any more damage. Mirage is next. Go.
Mirage?
Yeah.
Is probably going to be our first F tier. He's like a fun and trolly legend, but I don't know. I mean, his Invisi-Res is cool, but almost has never worked, and it's just not at high level ranked. It's just not gonna work. No.
You could have 2 charges for the tactical. So when he shoots a decoy out, I think you should have 2 charges, like a Bangalore has 2 smokes.
Oh, 2 decoys. Okay.
2 charges. You could like throw one left.
Okay.
You could throw one right, and then you could like go down the middle, and it would be at least useful somewhat. Because the one decoy is so useless. Once Mirage uses the ultimate, there's no other tricks to be had. The single decoy is a joke. Octane is next.
Octane is a very selfish legend, but so incredibly fun to play. Definitely not S tier, not A tier. I'm tempted to put him at B or C.
If I see an Octane, if I'm random queuing and I see an Octane, I'm generally
thinking they're kind of that's a solo queued person. They're not going to help much, but hopefully they hit their shots is kind of what I'm thinking. But a good Octane can use their jump pad to jump pad a knocked teammate, to jump pad your team to finish a fight quickly, to quickly get your team to a different position. You're not going to see him in ALGS. You're not going to see him in comp. I'm fine with you keeping him at C. I feel like a high C, low B. I just think Loba's more viable and more useful.
Yeah, I mean, you're certainly not seeing any Octanes in real professional lobbies, and you're seeing some Lobas. I mean, that's some indication. You're never going to see an Octane in those lobbies. So Pathfinder's next.
Pathfinder, I actually think is pretty good on this map. A lot of ways you can grab height. It's crazy because the legend with no passive whatsoever, I think is pretty damn good on this map. Definitely not S. He's not
A.
I think he might be on this map. A good Pathfinder could possibly be A on this map.
Just like the Octane, they'll be able to do some angles and some crazy stuff during a actual gunfight. The zipline and the jump pad are not the best for rotating. You can just get killed off of them, you know?
I was thinking A or you're a Pathfinder main. I was thinking A or B for this map. I think so.
We could throw B or C for sure. I'm not. There's no way Pathfinder's
B
A.
because I want A, so B.
Okay, Rampart's next. So it's
I
just the
see
walls.
such a variance in what you guys are saying. I see all the way from a bunch of C's and all the way down to an F.
I don't think it's an F. I could be convinced to D.
I'm fine with D. Put her on D.
I could be convinced to D. The ultimate is not going to be good at higher levels. No one's going to let you clip them.
They're gonna destroy her before she stands so still.
Completely. You're getting beamed if you have that ultimate gun out. And the walls with a really good player can be pretty good, but I still wouldn't say I would always want a Caustic on my team in game. No, depending on the zone. If it's a zone out in the middle of a field, of course you'd rather have a Rampart. If it's a zone, obviously with buildings, you'd have a Caustic. So it does depend on the zone. But in this circumstance, I mean, it's got to be a C or a D.
You put her at D.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Seer, all the way at the top, all the way up.
Yeah, and Seer's just one of those legends, guys, that has needed a nerf for about 2 seasons, and the heirloom is coming out soon for Seer, so they don't want to nerf Seer into the ground. Of course, I think a balance would be completely fine, and the heirloom would still be purchased. But Seer is extremely strong. Has the best wall scans, can cancel heals, can cancel reses, has a dome that can permanently see all enemies around. Fingertips, you can always at all times see where everyone is. As long as you have comms with your team, Seer is the #1 legend. I'm going to put him right there. Seer needs a handily nerf.
All right, next one.
Valk.
I'm putting her at A.
Valk at A.
A couple seasons ago, they nerfed the height of her ultimate. Her ultimate can be really risky, especially later in the game. It can be risky, but it can completely save your team's life.
If Valk is A, then Valk is the #1 A, in my opinion. Valk has really good movement, especially for controller players that might not have the fastest sense, to be able to move around really fast.
Yeah.
Valk can just be a get out of jail free card. You can just use the jets and just wiggle up, and it's just a very easy character.
I'm not offended when I see her. Like, I'm offended when I see Seers. Like, I'm sick of fighting against Seers. Valk's on this map, I think it's an A. Let's get the next legend. Vantage.
Yeah. Vantage. My initial thought on Vantage is that Vantage is useful, but Vantage needs a buff. And like we said, B tier legends don't need a buff. So I would say C probably, D maybe, but definitely at least C. What do you think?
I think C. I actually think her ult is really good on this map. I think her ultimate is really good. Again, this is the season 15 tier list for Broken Moon, so I would say don't put her any lower than C. I think her tactical provides some decent movement.
Next is Watson.
Paired with a Newcastle and a movement legend, she's actually pretty good on this map. with so many people rocking Horizon makes Watson really good. Watson's ultimate is so frustrating for a Horizon main. Horizon being S tier and being the highest picked legend makes Watson more viable and a good counter.
I think Watson is pretty balanced right now. I think if no one was running Horizon, maybe that would put Watson at a C. But the fact that everyone is running Horizon, that is a big nerf to Caustic. And that's why you see Caustic at C right now, because Caustic is super susceptible to Horizon ults. If you're in a building or behind a rock or whatever, and you got your gas trap set up and you're feeling comfortable, well, here comes the gravity well from hell and you're just dead. There's nothing you can do. So that's why the Watson is certainly better in this meta. Okay, next legend, Wraith. Definitely not S, not A either. Wraith is pretty balanced after the 55 nerfs that they gave her. C for buff. I don't think she needs a small buff. I think Wraith is fairly balanced.
I'd say higher. I think on this map she's good. The portal, like she's making a comeback. One thing about Wraith that will always make her fun is that she's this big. She is this big. She is so small. Just her hitbox size alone makes her a great legend to play. Like, she is so small. You think Wraith is better than Ashe? I think her phase makes her better. I think her phase is better than Ashe's tag.
Yeah, so I think in a team, if you have a really good Wraith that can be aggressive with crazy angles and then get out similar to like a Pathfinder and Octane, I think that does give the edge to Wraith. We're going to make sure these are in the right order, too, as far as the level. Last person is Rev. Rev D or F?
I kind of want to put him at F, honestly. Rev sucks.
But should Rev suck? I feel like if Rev is strong, then no one's gonna want to play Apex.
He has a huge potential to be so toxic for the game.
Let's just go ahead.
I don't think you can put Crypto and Rev on the same tier.
Well, it'd be at the ones at the top, ones at the bottom of the tier. I mean, I'd be fine putting Rev at F if there's a Revenant on my team. Generally, you have to build the comp around it. I feel like you have to have an Ashe with Rev, or you have to have a Octane with Rev, and then you're really screwing yourself. Because now all of a sudden you're building a comp around Rev. You can't really push effectively if you don't have a movement legend to get you from point A to point B.
If you put him at D, he's the last on the list. Rampart's way more useful for the team than Rev. And then Catalyst. Where are you putting Catalyst?
I want to put Catalyst at C.
100%. I'm putting Catalyst at C. Catalyst because you use a buff, and I think Catalyst should do what we all thought she was going to do based off of the trailers and the teasers. We thought that her wall was going to block scans. We thought it was going to block Bloodhound. We thought it was going to block Seer heartbeats. We thought it was going to block Seer scans. A lot of us thought that. If she was that, I would put her at probably A. But she doesn't have that, so
the ultimate.
Her passive is amazing. Her passive is great. I think it's a really cool passive. It's an amazing passive. It'd be interesting to see how she could shake things up if she really was more of a counter for Seer.
Quickly, let's go through and make sure we have them in the right order within the rank. So Seer, we would definitely say, is the very best legend in the game right now, followed by Horizon. Valkyrie is borderline S. I would say I'd be fine putting her at the bottom of S, but we'll just put her at the top of A. Bloodhound or Newcastle. I'd put Bloodhound in front of Newcastle if you don't have a Seer, and even double scans is pretty good. This order, Watson is the best B, and these down here, give or take, equal. But
I would say honestly, you could maybe even move Pathfinder up a little bit. I think Pathfinder, you're underestimating Pathfinder on this map. The grapple on this map is really good.
We'll leave it at that for now. What about C? I think Octane and Ashe are fairly close. Caustic is borderline B for me, but because the Horizon just really shits on Caustic. Yeah, I think that's pretty close there on the tier list. I don't have the picture for Catalyst, but Catalyst on the C level would be where?
Behind the last one, behind Vantage. I think Vantage is more useful than Catalyst on this map.
I'm cool with that. So bottom of C, bottom of the barrel C would be Catalyst at the moment. I think Catalyst is going to get a buff. I'd be very surprised if Catalyst doesn't get a buff, but
all right, guys, this is the first ever His and Hers Live Season 15 rank tier list. This is, in fact, the first tier list we've ever done, period. We hope you guys like it. Let us know in the comments what you think about it, where we were right, where we were wrong.
I think we crushed it. This is undisputed list here.